Let's talk about a very niche and happening field today, which is the field of big data and, of course, big data analytics. So what is big data? So any large data set which cannot be analyzed using your typical data application is big data. So let's talk about an Amazon, for example. Millions of users, different buying patterns, all kinds of trends. So how do you analyze that? Or let's say Facebook, again, huge amount of data, right? So for every like or a wow or a love reaction, how do you understand what the customer is looking for? How do you understand what the user is looking for? So when we look at these kinds of huge data sets, this is big data. And to understand that, of course, you need big data analytics. Now, why do you need big data analytics? Because a typical data application cannot help you draw the right kind of information or the right kind of conclusions from this kind of data. Because the data sets are huge. The amount of data is incredible. So you need specific tools for that. And to understand that data, you need to be trained to understand that data. So that is big data analytics in very layman terms. Now, is it a happening industry? Absolutely. Now, what is happening today is companies really do not have trained data professionals, at least not the numbers that they would like. So let's say they have got an operations guy and they say, hey, come and manage this team for us because you understand the operations, you understand how things work. Or they will draw in a business analyst and say, hey, manage this team for us because you're good at that. But it's not going to give them the real benefits in the long run. So big data analytics is a field which is really growing at a tremendous rate. It's growing at a CAGR of 30% per annum. And if you are trained as a big data analyst, if you do your master's in, let's say, big data analytics, it's got a 100% placement record. So if you check out universities for different courses, you will see they've got a placement number like a 71% or an 87%, but big data is 100%, which means that there is a huge demand for trained data professionals. Now, what is the premium that you get in terms of salaries? So let's say if you are an engineer and you pass out, you're a fresher, you'd probably draw around 2,500 euros a month at the beginning. But as a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a data engineer, you'd probably be getting in the range of 4,500 euros a month. So that's a very conservative estimate, to be honest. So if we look at the actual numbers, so it ranges from around 60,000 euros to well above 100,000 euros per annum for data engineers. In the US, it would be somewhere in the range of $110,000 to $190,000 per annum. So the premium is huge. And it's a field that is growing, and there's a dearth of trained data professionals, as I said. Now, who can go for it? So if you are a computer sciences student, let's say you are an engineer in computer sciences, or if you have done your bachelor's of computer applications, or you've done your MCA, master's in computer applications, or even if you're from a science background, you can go for big data analytics. Of course, if you do not have a computing background, you'll need to be trained in the computing languages and computing to start off with, but eventually, obviously, you'll be trained in the data analytics part of it as well. And once you pass out, of course, the demand is huge. So anybody with a computing background, definitely this is the thing you should go for. And let's say if you've done your 12th, then you can do your bachelor's in computer sciences, and then you can specialize in your master's, which is you can go for a big data analytics specialization. And again, the path is clear. So you become a big data analyst, or you become a data scientist, or you become a data engineer, And there is tremendous scope in this line.